Okay. Very good evening, everyone. Good evening, students. Very good evening, Sapna. Please confirm about the voice and the video, and I'll start the session. Okay. Thank you, Sapna, for clarifying that. On that note, let's start with this class. So, first of all, I welcome each one of you to my YouTube session on Muslim law. Let's start with my brief introduction first. My name is Sandeep Khatri. I have done my law from University of Mumbai and my LLM from Jindal Global Law School. By profession, I'm a teacher. I'm teaching law for more than 5 years now. My areas of specializations are the constitutional law, criminal law, commercial law, family law, and law of torts. Here is the link of my profile on Unacademy, so please do follow that to get all the updates about my special classes and my plus courses. I've also shared the link of my Telegram channel where you can connect with me. And at last, I have mentioned my code, that is KHATRILIVE, basically my surname Khatri, KHATRI, and Live, LIVE, which you can use to get free access of all the special classes available on Unacademy app, and also to get 10% discount for all your plus courses. So this was about me. So I request everyone now please be attentive, and this is going to be an interactive session. So the moment you feel you're not clear with anything, feel free to ask your questions in the comments. So today I'm going to discuss a topic that is talaq when it comes to Muslim law. So first I will tell you the basics, some basic important information about the talaq, and after that we will solve some of the MCQs related to that. So with the help of whiteboard, I'll explain the concept. So the question is, students, how once the nikah is done, okay, once the nikah is done, now the second question is how one can dissolve the marriage, how one can dissolve the Muslim marriage or the nikah. So to dissolve nikah, there can be two options available. So the first option is death. Now, because of obvious reasons, if there is death of husband, if there is death of wife, or death of both, the marriage will obviously automatically dissolve for the obvious reasons, right? So one can be the death, second one can be the talaq, which we know as divorce. So when we say talaq, there are some grounds when husband give talaq. Then there is one ground where wife can take talaq. Then there are some concepts for mutual, if suppose both husband and wife wants to end this marriage. And the last one is when the case comes to in the front of court. So these are the 4 points which we are going to study in detail. Now I'm concluding the whole concept. First we did nikah, students. Now we are doing the next topic, that how one can dissolve the nikah, how one can dissolve the Muslim marriage. So the answer is, one is death for obvious reasons. If husband died or wife or both, the marriage will be dissolved. And the second one is talaq. In talaq, today I'm going to give you the details of husband, how husband can take talaq. So further, this is your talaq ul sunnat. Okay. And then there is talaq ul biddat as well, the concept of talaq ul biddat as well. Which is also known as triple talaq. And the landmark judgment of Shaira Banu also came into the picture. In talaq ul sunnat, you can further divide it into two parts, a Hasan and Hasan. Now before going into the details of this talaq ul sunnat and talaq ul biddat, anything which you are not clear with. And there is another points like ila, and last one is your zihar. So today I am going to complete this part, students. This one, talaq by husband. So we will cover all these 4 points one by one. Any question till this from this chart, if there is anything which is not clear to you, do ask questions, and if it's all clear, quickly give me a thumbs up. Now I'll go into the details of talaq ul sunnat. Very good evening, everyone. Those of you who have just joined, Amit, Kanika, and Isha. Very good evening. Okay, perfect. I've got the thumbs ups, which means you are clear. Now I'm entering into the details of talaq ul sunnat. And after that, we will cover the MCQ part. Talaq ul sunnat. First thing which you should know about this kind of talaq is this option is available to husband only, which means only husband can use talaq ul sunnat to take divorce. The other name of talaq is talaq ul sunnah. This basically means, the meaning of this talaq means this is affected in accordance with the traditions. This talaq ul sunnat is affected only in accordance with the traditions. And yes, it is one of the approved form of talaq which is approved by Prophet Muhammad. Now, when we go into the details of talaq ul sunnat, we can divide it into two parts. There are two classifications of talaq ul sunnat: ahsan and hasan. Now, students, this is going to be the discretion of the husband. The husband will decide whether he wants to use talaq-e-hasan or talaq-e-hasan to take divorce. Now, what is ahsan? This is also known as the best, or you can say the most approved. You can say the best or most approved mode of talaq. Most approved mode of talaq. And in comparison, when you compare this with hasan, this is good. Hasan is good, but ahsan is best. And this is good. And this is just approved. Approved mode of form. Approved mode of talaq. Now going into the details, what are the conditions? What are the conditions one needs to fulfill for the concept of ahsan, and what are the conditions one needs to fulfill in case of ahsan? So there are three conditions for this one. The first, single pronouncement. I am writing in short SP. SP here means single pronouncement, which means the husband in a single pronouncement will say, I divorce you. Okay? So single pronouncement. Second, sorry, during the time period of tuhar. Now what is the tuhar? Tuhar is that time period when a woman is free from menstrual course. And the last, third one is, once that single pronouncement has been made, now in that scenario, once that single pronouncement has been made, the iddat period will begin. The iddat period will begin from there only. And these are the conditions in case of hasan. Here you need to make three consecutive pronouncements. One on the first tuhar, second on the second tuhar, and third on the third tuhar. And the other two conditions are, no sexual intercourse during the time of pronouncements. And the third one is, if the woman is not subjected to menstruation, then one after the other 3 months, which means ki 3 pronouncements in 3 months. So these are the basic differences between Ahsan and Hasan. Any question from this chart, students? And if it's all clear, quickly give me a thumbs up. And now I will shift to the MCQ part related to these concepts. Now answer this one. Which is the most proper form of divorce? Which is the most proper form of divorce? Amit, I will go again. Once I'm done with this question number 1, I'll explain the concept of Hasan again. Let's make a new chart. So students, if it is a case of a Hasan and Hasan, there is only one single pronouncement, and on once that single pronouncement is done, iddat period will begin. So iddat period will begin from here, and in this case, if iddat period end, the divorce becomes final here. Okay, and here iddat period begin. Now in this circumstances, in case of Hasan, there is going to be 3 pronouncement. First, second, third. This is on first to her, this is on second to her, and this is on third to her. And once the third pronouncement has been made, now after this, iddat period will begin. After this, iddat period will begin. Done. So there are 3 pronouncement. There is only single pronouncement in the case of Hasan. Now moving to your MCQs. So the most proper form of divorce is Hasan Talaq, which is, the answer is B. Next one. In the Hasan form of Talaq, the Talaq is effective. From when the Talaq is going to be effective? In case of a Hasan form of Talaq, the Talaq is effective on the expiration of iddat period. B is the correct answer, students. When the iddat period has been expired, then the Talaq becomes final. So the answer is B. Done, Amit? So the correct answer here is B, on the expiration of iddat period. Next. Under Muslim law, the marriage, whether consummated or not, iddat period has to be observed in the case of, choose the most appropriate option. Correct answer, students, in the case of death of the husband. In the case of death of, whether marriage consummated or not, iddat has to be observed in the case of death of the husband. So B is the correct answer. Kanika and Amit. A Muslim can divorce his wife. Choose the most appropriate option. Whenever he so desires, without assigning any cause. Whenever he so desires, but only with a cause. Whenever he so desires, without assigning any cause, but only in the presence of the wife. Either B or C. Amit, do correct your answer. The correct answer is whenever he so desires, without assigning any cause. There is no such requirement that the husband needs to come up with a cause that is why he is giving divorce to the wife. This is something called you can say the absolute power has been given to the husband. So the correct answer here is A. After divorce, a Muslim woman can remarry. After divorce, a Muslim woman can remarry. First one to answer, Kanika, followed by Amit, and yes, that is the correct answer, which means after divorce, a Muslim woman can remarry after observing the iddat period. That is B. What is the object of serving iddat period? Choose the most appropriate answer. What is the objective of serving iddat period? First one to answer, Kanika, followed by Amit, and yes, C is the correct answer, both A and B. The object of serving iddat period is to ascertain whether the woman is pregnant or not and to ascertain the paternity of the child. By the third pronouncement of talaq, which kind of talaq becomes effective? In this class only I have told you. By the third pronouncement of talaq, which kind of talaq becomes effective? And the correct answer is, students, Talaq e Hasan. A is the correct answer. Amit and Kanika. Talaq e Hasan is the correct answer. Which talaq has been classified into Ahsan and Hasan? Which talaq has been classified into Ahsan and Hasan? Kanika and Amit, correct answer. The answer is Talaq ul Sunnat, which is also known as Talaq ul Sunnah. So that is classified into Ahsan and Hasan. Kanika, please do read the question carefully. By the third pronouncement of talaq, okay, so तीन pronouncement आपकी एक ही में होती है, that is talaq e hasan. When it comes to talaq ul biddat, you might get confused with talaq ul biddat, but this is something which is unconstitutional as of now. Fine. and talaq ul biddat, and there's a difference between talaq-e-hasan and talaq ul biddat. Now what is that difference? The difference is कि in talaq-e-hasan there are successive three pronouncements, but in talaq ul biddat there is single pronouncement. Now that can be a single sentence or at the same time three pronouncements, three different sentences. Okay, I divorce you thrice, or if that is a case of I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you. That is the example of talaq ul biddat, which has been held now unconstitutional because of the Shaira Bano versus Union of India 2017 Supreme Court. But when it comes to talaq-e-hasan, these are the cases of three successive pronouncements one by one, which means first pronouncement on first tuher, then the second pronouncement on second tuher, and finally the third pronouncement. So that is why the answer is going to be A only. Okay. Kanika, I have explained question number 7 only. 7 ही explain किया मैंने. Done? Okay. If it's clear now, moving to the next one. Which of the following is correct in relation to talaq-e-hasan? Which of the following statement is correct in relation to talaq-e-hasan? What is the difference between A and D? Amit, this is in the reference of which question? Please clarify the question number. The question you are asking about is of in relation to which question number? And the correct answer is, students, both A and B. When it comes to single pronouncement of talaq, this is something which is related to talaq-e-hasan, and the wife isn't to her. This is also correct in relation to talaq-e-hasan. Next, which of the following is correct in relation to talaq-e-hasan? Okay, Amit, let me complete this question number 10 and then I'll go back to question number 7. Okay. Kanika, correct answer. In question number 10, all of the above statements are correct. Wife has to undergo with iddat period. It can be revoked during iddat, and after iddat it becomes irrevocable. These all three statements are correct in relation to talaq-e-hasan. Now, coming to question number 7, I am giving you a chart so that you can easily distinguish between two forms of talaq. See, Amit, this is the concept of talaq. This can be further divided into two. There are two classifications. The first one is talaq-e-hasan. Okay. And this is the next one is talaq ul biddat, which is also known as triple talaq. Now I am telling you the differences between these two forms of talaq. First, the one thing that is common is, students, both can be used by husband only, but this is something which has been held unconstitutional as of now. This is held being unconstitutional, so you must remember that this is no more in exercise. Reason, because of your Shaira Bano. Okay? Shaira Bano versus Union of India 2017. This is still valid. Now what is the difference? In this, the first condition is there are three pronouncements. Three pronouncements. Now these three pronouncements may be can be of two types. One is in one sentence, एक ही sentence में, or the next one is separate sentences. Separate sentences. Now let me give you an example. In one sentence, if the husband is passing this statement, I divorce you thrice. I divorce you thrice. तो वो किस में fall करता था? तलाक उल बिद्दत. I divorce you thrice. तो मतलब what you have actually done, you have given only one sentence, but you have used the term thrice here. So ये आपका किस में fall कर जाएगा? Three pronouncements में. Now three separate sentences. जैसे कि let's take an example. I divorce you. I divorce you. I divorce you. This is the basics of talaq ul biddat. I hope कि clear है. Three pronouncement, या तो एक sentence में या separate तीन sentence एक ही time पे. इसमें बीच में कोई gap नहीं है. There is no gap between this. There is no gap between this. अब आते हैं. Now come to talaq-i-hasan. Here comes the role of three successive pronouncements. Three successive means first pronouncement, then second, then third. This is on first to her, this is on second to her, this is on third to her. So there is a gap as well, and there is no gap. So I hope with the help of this chart, you can easily distinguish between these two forms of talaq. And this is unconstitutional as of now. This is still, which is in use. I hope it's clear, Amit. Are we done? Tuhar means, if you want to write it, you can write it as well. Tuhar means it's a period when a woman is, Tuhar means it's a period when the woman is free from menstrual course. Free from menstrual course. It is a period when the woman is free from menstrual course. That is your Tuhar. So on an average, this is basically our first pronouncement after 1 month and after third month. After second month, तो आपका ये obviously within 3 months ये conclude हो जाएगा. Done, Amit? Now let's conclude this class. We are done with the MCQ as well. Now anything you are not clear with, students, from this class? Yes, please. Talaq ul sunnat, talaq ul biddat, ahasan. Anything which is not clear to you. Done? So this is the link of my profile, students, on Unacademy. Make sure you follow that. This is my Telegram channel where you can connect with me, and this is my code KHATRILIVE. This is the schedule of my classes. As of now, I'm also running MP MCQ test series. You can get the schedule from this Telegram channel. Okay. Today was the first test. So I have already shared the complete schedule of MP test series, which is again a special class, students. And there is also a special class going on weekends on history and current affairs. And there is IPC revisional class going on. This is also a special class. Okay. Two subjects which are running in the plus classes are the Muslim law and the code of CRPC. So let's crack PCS J with Unacademy, compete with thousands of aspirants and stand out from the crowd. You will get all the subjects here in the special classes, all the major subjects, minor subjects, procedural, local laws, GK, current affairs, everything is available for you on Unacademy in special classes. These are some special classes features, interactive live classes, poll for learners. You can raise your hand and you can actually communicate with the educator. You will get the notification, so you will not miss that class. You will get the lecture notes and you can access it anytime, anywhere. India's best educators are available for you. This is the pricing plan and the plus subscription. More the months, less the price, and you can always use the code KHATRILIVE to get 10% off. Once you are a subscriber, you can attend all these courses by the different educators. This is the YouTube and the Telegram channel of Unacademy, where you will get all the information about all the educators and all the upcoming courses. And on that note, do like, share, and subscribe. Yes, Amit, exactly. Answer to your question, yes. Done. So do like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next class. Till then, yes, it's time to say peace.